Hello and welcome to the Tool Wall, where time is the most valuable tool. Today I have the 605 rivet nut gun from AliExpress. This tool came with a case, instruction manual, a tool to remove the mandrels, and 7 mandrels. These are the SAE sizes, and it came with from 632s all the way up to 5/16, 18 for the thread count. It's a fairly nice tool. The handles are folded steel. The grips are made of rubber. This red piece at the end is cast metal. This piece at the end is steel. This piece back here is plastic. And then the knob here on the back is also plastic with a steel shaft and mostly steel parts throughout. This operation is fairly smooth. One thing I noticed is that this is a double stacked metal hinge. There are a lot of other rivet nut guns out there on the market with a single piece here, and that single piece in the reviews they've said will fold or bend, but it's nice to see this double stacked piece here for extra support. So I'm going to go ahead and use this tool and show you how it works. Just for a demonstration, here is an uncompressed rivet nut, and here is a compressed rivet nut. It's approximately 6 millimeters shorter, and we're going to test it out here. So I made the mistake of not reading the manual before I got started, and I already broke one of the mandrels, and that was user error, my own fault. Some nice things to have on hand when you're using this is a drill gauge to kind of see how large of a hole you need to drill. Those are nice to have. And another thing nice to have for this, not required, but nice, is an electronic digital caliper or a non-digital caliper. So in the manual, this is the 605 handheld rivet nut riveter, and it is capable of maximum working stroke of 9 millimeters. I had it at probably the maximum, and I broke the mandrel by putting too much force. Right now I want about 6 millimeters of stroke to compress that rivet nut. So I'm going back here to the back. The instructions were not completely clear, but it shows how to load and unload the mandrels from the tip of the rivet nut gun, and the different areas you can use this rivet nut removal tool and tightening tool on the rivet nut gun. It shows an example compression, and over here we have additional instructions on how to load and unload, and the dimensions of the rivet nut in compressed and uncompressed, or uncompressed and compressed. So I use this. I have a rivet nut here. This is the 5/16, and I'm going to use this gauge here. So 5/16 is a little bit bigger than a 1/2, so I used my drill to drill a hole in this sheet metal. And another thing nice to have is one of these step gauge drill holes where you start the hole with a normal drill bit and then you can widen the hole to the right size with the step drill bit. Alright, so I need to load the rivet nut gun. So this piece here on the end is adjustable. It has a sleeve tightening fit. And then this whole thing can come off, but it's not necessary. But it does adjust so that you can get varying degrees of the stroke compression. When it's all the way down, that was the least amount of compression. Handles open, close. But I'm going to actually take this off so you can see the whole piece here. So this has a little sleeve that goes down, and it's required that this be compressed while you're putting in the mandrel. So you can leave this on, and you can use either your finger or this tool to compress this down. I'm going to open up this. It has two pieces, the mandrel and then like the sleeve cap here. Alright, so I'm going to hold this down. I'm actually use my finger, hold it down, and it's a smaller piece. Short piece goes in, and you just rotate that in and keep holding this down until it goes all the way down. And you can see there, and then you release that and it locks it in place. And now we'll do some measurements. Alright, actually I'm going to put this sleeve piece on. Make sure you put this on. Make sure it's threaded in. And then you can use this tool to tighten it. Actually, this end here. Tighten that just hand tight, not too tight, because it's got to come off after. Alright, and then the rivet nut. So before I do that though, I used this caliper to gauge the stroke because I didn't want it to go too far. So I zeroed this out, and then you go all the way. So it's about 5.4 millimeters currently. I need to go to 6 for this particular mandrel. So loosen this sleeve, and you can, it's a little bit too tight for my hand, so I'm going to use this tool, loosen it a little bit, and I'll retighten sleeve, and use this, reset to 0, and see how much that is. Still 5. Need to go a little further. And just a little bit of movement on this outer sleeve ring here creates additional stroke there. So I'm going to check this out. Alright, so that gives me I'm right about 6 millimeters. That's about what I want. Maybe a little tiny bit less. So it's nice and tight. This is tight. You go ahead and open the handles all the way as far as I will go. You just thread this on. It doesn't have to be really tight, just hand tight. Alright, so that's ready to go. Got my eye protection on. And got sheet metal here. And these larger ones that are a little difficult, so you use both hands here. Oops. And that took some muscle. And so once that's in, you use this back thing to unthread all the way. And it releases. And there we have a completed rivet nut. Look at the back here. You can see the compression. It's nice and tight. It is solid against this steel. There's no damage to the steel. So the key is just getting the right stroke setting set up so that the compression is correct and you don't break your mandrel and you don't break your workpiece. So there you have it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.